What's up, everybody? I hope you're all well, and welcome back to Dragon Age Awakenings. Now, as you remember, our private outside said some nobles wanted to speak to us. It is about time to meet our vassals, and we do have a couple quests in here, so first things first, let's talk to Mistress Woolsey.
I'm here to serve, Commander.
Seems like she has something for us. Can you do anything to resupply our soldiers?
I will do what can be done, but you would be wise to keep alert for trading possibilities in your journeys. If you can persuade any merchants to trade here, it would benefit the Vigil considerably.
We will certainly keep that in mind. That will be all, Mistress Woolsey.
Very well, Commander.
Trade must flow. Right, now, go ahead and talk to Varl.
Commander, the Lords of Amaranthine have come to swear fealty to you and the Grey Wardens. These were Al Rendenhau's vassals. Now they will be yours.
We did just actually learn a lot about Varl in the codexes. Turns out that he was serving Hal the whole time Hal was ruling here, and he was undermining him at every chance he could. He's trying to right the wrongs of Hal's atrocities, and over time that landed him in the dungeon awaiting execution. Of course, we took care of Hal first, and now here he is serving the Wardens. He's been given a very high honor, and he's privy to a lot of Warden secrets without being a Warden himself, which he deserves it. I very much appreciate Varl's rigid sense of honor. If any took part in the murder of my family...
Al-Hau was enough of a bastard to do that all on his own. But it is possible he had confederates. Some of these lords bore Rendon no love, but others had their prospects ruined with his demise. Tread carefully, Commander.
Well, we know how Hal operated,
Lords
right?
and ladies,
Is either blackmail or bribery.
Commander of Ferelden and Al of Amaranthine.
Commander.
If you didn't take the carrot, then you would get the stick. So we're gonna have to figure out among all these Alls which ones were taking the carrot and which ones were taking the stick. Can't blame them for taking the stick. I mean, look what Hal was doing in the dungeons in Denerim, but we can blame the ones who were taking the carrot. Our differences are many, but our cause is one.
Ban Esmeralda of Amaranthine, as is old custom, you have the honor of beginning.
I promise that I, Ban Esmeralda, will be faithful to the Arl in matters of life, limb, and earthly honor. Never will I bear arms against him or his heirs. So I say, in the sight of the Maker.
I'm not sure I believe
I
her.
promise that I, Lord Edelbrek...
And so, the ceremony is complete.
Long live the Warden Commander!
Edelbrek seems like he's pretty genuine. Right, now let's see if we can't go meet some of this rabble. Sir Timothy. Lord Edelbrek.
Honored to meet you, Warden Commander. You come to us during desperate times.
Not more about your precious farms, Edelbrek.
Some in our Arling do not have the comfort of city walls. On the plains, the situation is dire.
I imagine that's true. My father called you a friend, Edelbrek. Speak your mind.
So you remember me, young Kuzland. Although you're not so young anymore. I swear to you and Andraste I had no part in Hal's treachery. My concern isn't that, however.
I believe him.
As we feast, the peasants on our lands are starving, or worse.
The city's defenses are more important, Edelbrek.
There may be wheat in the silos now, but if the farmers die, where will you get your food?
That's also very true. I will send the soldiers wherever they are most needed.
Then I pray to the Maker that your choices are wise.
He made a very good point there. You can defend the city all you like, but if the city no longer gets food because the farmers die, then what good is the city? It's not as simple as just, oh, the city is more important. The city has walls and it has guards. The farmers have nothing, so...
It's an honor to have you as our liege, Commander.
I'm sure you really feel that way. But Tamra...
Warden Commander, we've all heard so much about you. So many good things, unbelievable things. But many of your deeds cost people here a chance at great advancement. So many fortunes were deeply intertwined with the old Arl. Some nobles here, they seek to end your dominion over them.
This much I've gathered already.
Perhaps you do not know the full extent of their determination. I've had occasion to intercept some of their missives. They are cryptic things. Any individual message is unintelligible, but together they form a pattern. They mean to end you before you can begin. A deadly coalition.
I want to see these missives.
Given a few days, I can retrieve the messages. I would have brought them tonight, but I didn't know if warning you would be wise. I've much to lose and precious little to gain.
Indeed.
Farewell. We will meet again soon.
I definitely appreciate her coming forward with that. She's taking a big risk, and to nobody's surprise, there are some alls here that were all wrapped up in house conspiracies and nonsense, and they've decided they want the smoke. Ban Esmeralda.
I see that Lord Edelbreck wastes no time in canvassing you for soldiers to defend his farms. Do not be deceived, Commander. His livelihood is all he cares about. Amaranthine is the jewel of the Arling, and she must be protected.
Now, whether he only cares about his livelihood or not, at the end of the day, the sentiment is 100% correct. The farms die, the rest of Amaranthine dies because it starves to death. So, I'm sure she is totally... She's just a philanthropist, right? Like, everything she wants is just for the people. I'm sure she cares not for her pretty dresses and jewelry. Why protect the city over the country folk?
Pragmatism. A farming hovel can be rebuilt with straw and mud. Amaranthine was built over generations. If she falls, then this great Arling will be diminished.
Wealth is well and good, but what measure do you put to human life? The folk in the country outnumber your city dwellers many times over.
I would not be so vulgar as to violate the decorum of this event. Commander?
That doesn't surprise me at all. Granted, Lord Edelbreck is still a lord, so he is technically still a politician. However, she said that it's fine because you can rebuild the farming hovels with mud and straw. That's true, but what you can't rebuild is farmers. That's a skill. And if all your skilled farmers, like, do you think Ban Esmeralda knows how to grow crops? Do you think she knows what ground is more fertile than the rest, or do you think she spends most of her time in a knitting room somewhere reading missives? She is very foolish to think that I'm as foolish as she is.
Villages come and go, but a city that has been sacked can take generations to recover.
And you know what a sacked city can't recover from? Starvation.
Let me know if you want the nobles cleared out. If you want the ceremony to end, I mean.
Never mind, Varro. You can speak your mind. I feel the same way. Trust me. Edelbreck said we're not defending the farmlands.
Edelbreck speaks truly, sir, but things are dire. He and Ban Esmeralda both contest the deployment of soldiers. But we don't have enough men. It's a matter of what you want to protect. The city, the land, trade.
So we have Amaranthine has its walls, let the farms have our soldiers, but that would leave the city completely left unchecked, apart from the tavern guards there, whatever's going on there. The city guard is still there. We're talking about Amaranthine's standing army here. Trade must flow. We need supplies to fight the Darkspawn. That is more for Vigil's Keep. So we can protect the city, protect the farms, or protect the merchants, or we can do our best to protect them all. Now, instead of stripping the army completely away from any one particular thing here, I would prefer to split the army up evenly and protect everybody. We can kind of divvy them out and adjust numbers as necessary. I'm sure Amaranthine, given its walls and its present city guard, doesn't need quite as much as, for example, the farms do, given the farmland is huge. So, let's do our best to protect them all.
As you wish.
Good man.
Commander.
Report on the situation in the Arling.
The soldiers are doing their best to defend the city of Amaranthine. Scouts report Darkspawn throughout the Arling and amassing. Where the soldiers aren't patrolling, the land is dangerous, Commander. Very dangerous.
Understood.
Good day, Commander.
Let me know if you want the nobles cleared out.
I absolutely
If you
do.
want the ceremony to end, I mean.
Well, I actually have heard of a conspiracy against me.
Do you know the conspirators? The right of high justice is yours, and treachery is a capital offense.
Jump into it straight away, huh? So Tamara doesn't know. She's bringing some evidence.
She's a sly one, said Tamara, but knowledgeable about such things. Better to be a touch paranoid than turning up face down in a ditch. To proceed, we'd need strong proof, and that'll be hard to gather. There are options, some I would not recommend. They could turn the nobles fierce.
Tell me about them.
We could have some soldiers try to spy on the nobility. I suppose that might bear fruit. There are also rumors of someone called the Dark Wolf, who finds information for a fee. Dangerous fellow, by all accounts.
Now, instead of sending soldiers to spy, they will likely get caught or could also be on a payroll. You understand that these nobles and alls have been here a long time, and so of the standing army, they could be quite easily on a payroll. How do I reach this Dark Wolf?
No idea, honestly. Somewhere in the foreign quarter of Amaranthine is all I know.
And what wouldn't you recommend?
You could invite a member of each of the noble families to stay as prolonged guests. And if anything untoward happens, well, you get the picture. This is a terribly Orlesian thing to do.
And we won't be doing anything terribly Orlesian, so... I'll see if I can find this Dark Wolf.
You need to head to the city then, and chase down a ghost.
We will get to that.
Let me know if you want the nobles cleared out. If you want the ceremony to end,
I love the way he corrects himself after that. The ceremony has gone on long enough, Seneschal.
As you wish, Commander. Clear the hall. The Commander has business to attend to.
Indeed we do. Right now, I believe we at least got one gift for a certain somebody, so... Talk to Anders. Much as I detest him. Where's the kitten? I know this is for you.
Oh, look at the cute little kitty. There was a mouser in the tower named Mr. Wiggums. Only company I had when the Templars locked me up. Miss that beast a lot sometimes. But I can't keep a cat. We fight Darkspawn for a living.
He can stay at the keep then.
I suppose. Well, I'll keep him just for a while, until I find somewhere safer. Is that okay with you, kitty? I'll call you Sir Pounce-a-lot. You can stay in my pack. Just for a little while, yes?
And there is the origins of Sir Pounce-a-lot. The portrait of a How here.
Funny. Considering all the things that have been taken, it figures this would still be here.
Let me guess. Your mother?
Good guess. That's her. My father hated my mother. He only dragged this painting out when my grandmother visited, which was not often. I'd be paraded before her like a soldier on inspection, and she would pick over every floor while father awaited his turn.
It's no surprise that Hal wasn't exactly Father of the Year, and his mother wasn't exactly Mother of the Year. That doesn't really surprise me. Why did he hate your mother?
I don't really know. Her family was wealthy. I remember that much. They wouldn't touch me with a 10-foot pole now, of course. I'd be as welcome there as a bad rash. Anyway, someone should take this down. I think it's staring at me.
So, of course, Hal despised his mother and his wife, no doubt, because she was wealthy. She had a high station. We know how jealous and envious Hal is. Weak little man. Comes to no surprise that he would be sour about anybody who had any kind of station that wasn't him, because he ultimately believed he deserved to be on the throne. I think deep down that's probably what he wanted.
Who's there?
You okay, friend? Did I startle you?
I was just keeping my nose to the dust, watching out for the Schliets. One of the lads here told me about the Schliets. Said they're common in Ferelden.
Right.
They lie on the ground, looking like ordinary pairs of pants, until you turn around. That's when they strike.
Oh, those Schliets.
Right. You've heard of them. Pants that eat your eyeballs. After they're done with you, they just wander off on their unnatural pant legs.
How much did you drink again exactly? Someone told you about a pants monster, and you believed him?
Sod. Come on, I've been on the surface less than 2 years. I don't know what's up here. That Jacob's gonna get it when I get my hands on him.
We did take some disapproval there, but Ogren's maxed out. It's not going to be too much of a problem for us. It's hilarious that somebody told him there's a pants monster that comes suck your eyeballs out. It's very funny. Right, now, in the interest of taking care of all the things you got to do in Vigil's Keep, before we head on out, we are going to talk to Maverlies now.
Quiet and stoic thing.
I don't mean to alarm you, Commander, but it's possible there are still Darkspawn in the Vigil.
The captain didn't mention anything about that.
Let me explain. You know Dworkin? That mad dwarf's bombs shook the whole keep. Some of the deep cellars caved in. I suspect that there are pockets of Darkspawn below, trapped. In time, they may dig their way out.
I'm good at killing Darkspawn, but not at digging.
We have men who can unearth the rubble at your command. Whenever you're ready, I can take you to the basements.
Let's go then.
Straight away, sir.
Certainly need to secure Vigil's keep before we head out.
Here we are. The Vigil goes deep. Real deep. The hallways down here have been crumbling for years and decades. And that blasted Dworkin's explosives didn't do the structure any favors.
Have men clear the rubble.
You heard the commander. Put your backs into it. This is where you come in. Who knows what's up ahead? We'll be back here.
Sounds good. Now, I wonder if I can...
Couldn't pay me enough to be a warden, charging off into dark basements like that.
Does have its perks. There's often a lot of treasure in dark basements. Of course, there's no way we could have left here without clearing this place.
Like you do, dwarf.
Fun fellow to have around. Than your brother.
He could find his fun.
Let's get started.
Almost anywhere. But then he would vomit on your shoes.
Ah, good times.
The Great Strife. There's actually a Mabari down here. This Mabari seems greatly distressed. Her fur is patchy and caked with dirt and blood. Try and comfort the dog. You pet the dog gently, calming her. You also find a small scroll bound to her. We'll take the scroll. Good girl.
Adria. She was like a mother to me. We must save her.
So, Adria put a note on that little Mabari. She's down here with the Darkspawn, it seems. I wish I could do something more for the Mabari. It seems there's nothing to be done. Mabari are tough, she'll hold up okay. Looks like the keep's gonna have a doggo too. Right. You know I'm not getting rid of it. The dog is very welcome.
Darkspawn! Destroy them!
Okay, instead of you doing mass paralysis, you have a couple different things I want you to do first. Mainly nuke this emissary. Now you can go ahead and cast mass paralysis if you wish. And there's the paralysis, and now it's nice and easy. Just gonna chop that wood now.
Do you actually think you have a chance?
And that's kind of the reason why my tactics don't tend to evolve the more I play, is it just kind of works. There's not really any need to evolve the tactics here.
Let's get started.
Again, our party composition and setup is so strong. Just because we switched out the characters doesn't mean the philosophy changes. Of course, if we can find a second mage, then it's going to be on like Donkey Kong. But still, right now we still have the two rangers in the back. We just switched out a second mage for Nathaniel with his bow, but still the same setup. 2 range, 2 close. We have a letter here. Response from Brendan Howe. West Hills Brandy, we know who that's for. It's for our thirsty companion. I'm sure Ogren will be a big fan of brandy. The sophisticated man's drink. What do we have in here? Plenty of codex. Ogren, rip torn for me. Snap up a Warcry, knock him down. I'll try and get these shrieks dead fast so my eardrums and your eardrums both survive. There we go. They're tough. There's some tough fights in Awakening. Don't take Awakening for granted. Just because we were OP at the end of Origins does not mean it's going to hold up the same. It's still good, but how good is up for debate. There's actually some kind of a hidden passage back there behind this bookshelf. Not sure if we'll ever be going down there, but there's on both sides, it seems.
Let's get started.
A small plaque reads, Andraste was bathed in fire before the Maker's eyes. Bathed in fire. And there is no doubt something to do with this at some point. Here's a torch. And there's the hidden entryway. We have a superb health poultice, greater injury kits, trade manifests, a manuscript copy. The title is Antivan, or maybe Navaran. Salable but not uniquely noteworthy. We have Tingler, 4 constitution, health regen in combat, and 15% received to healing effects. It is actually a great tank ring. Would you like to use this for us, Ogren? Let me see. What do you have currently? 2 strength, 2 dex, 1 con. We'll take the will con off, and we'll put the 4 con and the healing effects on. That should keep you alive a little more. I saw his health was actually getting quite low in that last encounter, so we'll give him a little boost. Keep on keeping on down here. Right, Ogren, I need you. Come on. Okay. We've already casted mass paralysis, which means we're already in the money for that. Chop that wood as always. Ogren, they seem to have woken back up, so as soon I'm gonna micro him for a second, and as soon as he has fallen, we're gonna pop it again. Do a walk right, put him on their ass. Now, if you remember, ghouls happen from Darkspawn corruption. All these prisoners were just blighted by the Darkspawn presence. How had quite the prison account here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people in Howe's dungeons. Howe correspondence. Delilah Howe's letters. Correspondence between Delilah Howe and a friend in Denerim, providing great insight into Delilah's recent life. That'll be a gift for Nathaniel, of course. Go ahead and give him that when we're done down here. Even crossbow. I don't really blame Howe for wanting to learn more about his sister. It would be important to me too. We have some prisoners that made it down here.
Oh, thank the Maker. Please let us out.
I'm sure the cage door being locked is the reason why they're good. What's in it for me?
We don't have anything. All we have is the clothes on our back.
Your clothes it is then? That's insane. Right, we're just gonna let them go. Fine, get out of here.
Quick, before more of those things come.
Don't know why they were put in prison, but I'm not gonna hold them captive down here for the Darkspawn. That's certainly not in our purview.
This should be easy. Didn't your mother ever tell you not to mess with dead people?
Now here you see there's a lot of keyholes. We have crypt statues, a bunch of sarcophagus. Drop a save here. We are, of course, looking for keys. I don't think we found any keys just yet. There's one key of Reveal.
Let's get started.
The Avar tomb, very interesting. This must be from the times where barbarians owned Vigil's Keep. Before Ferelden became Ferelden. Back when tribes just warred with each other down here. Trickster's cap.
On it.
Health poultice. I'm very interested to read those codexes in a later episode. I love learning about the time before Ferelden was Ferelden. Now, we just run into quite the ambush here, so Ogren, if you would be so kind. Hit on. Right. Anders, you are already casting mass paralysis, so I'm gonna hope and trust that you can do what you need to do there.
Ready for action.
But Daniel's doing scattershot for us. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Perfect execution, Anders. Right, how actually died the My mistake. I thought Ogren had the aggro of those archers. That's my fault completely.
Stop the music! It just fails to you if anything happens. Shots.
Okay, first death of the DLC. Alright, Nathaniel, I suppose that's a nice little gameplay hint for us to give you some things. So, give you some injury kits too.
I'll get on it.
I haven't actually done much with people's ability bars. Probably a good place to start doing that. Just in case we do end up with some knocks along the way. Ogren has his health potion, so I'll give you an injury kit. Although I suspect Ogren won't be dealing with much, where he'll need to take those. The How bow here, which is another gift. An aged but immaculate bow, stamped with the How crest. That is of course going to be for Nathaniel too. Lesser spirit bombs.
Let's get started.
Definitely got to keep our eye out for keys. What we have is the Kivil key first. Or so far, I believe. Health Pothos. And Lesser Elixir of Grounded. So we didn't get any other keys down here. We did miss one sarcophagus, and I'm gonna go check. You have a level up. I thought somebody leveled up. Was it Anders? Was Anders. Right, we're gonna give you 52 magic, 41 willpower. Your cunning is actually higher than it needs to be. It's quite repulsive, actually. Okay, let's give you dexterity. Not a major use for a mage, but I do want you to have it. Now that we're working on down these lines, I suppose in the interest of making you match the rest of my build from Origins, I'll just get you down towards telekinetic weapons. It's going to be really good for us against certain bosses. It's just going to completely ignore armor, so... Keep looking for these keys. I don't think Adria's doing good.
No. No, Adria. We have to help her. There must be some way. Adria.
I don't think there's a way. If anything, she's just lucky that she didn't
Only one shall stand.
get dragged up to the deep roads to deal with a fate worse than death. We all know what Darkspawn do to females.
No mercy.
I don't know anything about Adria, so I don't know if that's unfortunate or justice that happened to her. I would say nobody really deserves Darkspawn corruption. I wouldn't have even wished that on How. I would have put him out of his misery before I let him become a ghoul. A letter to Rendon.
On it.
Ring of Mastery. This is a Veridium deposit. We did talk to Ho Haran.
As you wish.
They said they wanted any kind of ore, so we'll definitely take those. Head on down the line.
You murdered a slew of Darkspawn there. Well, you hear the stories about you and the Wardens. But to see it firsthand...
As I've been saying, Grey Wardens can inspire.
Well, I'm impressed. Anyway, it looks like the explosives caved this section in. I brought along Master Voldrik.
So, this is how you humans ply your stonecraft. Disgraceful, that is. What, this would barely last a few centuries. I wager these passages may go far enough to connect to the deep roads.
Though the Darkspawn came from below.
Aye, the Orlesian lads would have had a terrible surprise. Explains how experienced men fell to the Darkspawn. This is a grave matter. If we don't shut these tunnels, the Darkspawn can attack from below again.
Andraste's blood. There are basement entrances throughout the keep. There's no way to defend against that.
Then we follow the tunnels and hope to find a single point to block off. Never you fear, lass. With the Warden's muscle and my stonecraft, we'll find a way.
Let me know as soon as you clear the passage.
We'll need some time, but as soon as we clear it, we'll let you know.
Let's get back to the keep.
Of course.
Okay, so now it's a waiting game. Now we just have to simply wait. Right, let's check our inventory briefly. We only have 1 key, so we do have to find the 3 keys from elsewhere. Well, good news, Heron. I did find you some Veridium.
Do you have a point, mage?
You're back. You need anything?
I found an ore deposit.
Oh, this will help a great deal. Veridium.
Armor and weapons could be made with this.
Commander, if you like, we could outfit your men. It wouldn't cost you anything, but some soldiers would have to guard the miners.
You'll have your guards. My men need better gear.
So I'm to make armor for all Amaranthine's rabble? Heren, you abuse me so, it's unconscionable.
Commander's orders.
Fine, fine, I'll work. But I want a challenge one day. Something to sink my teeth into.
I will certainly work on that for you. See, the tables have kind of turned now. Now it's Heren giving him the work. Right, so I think we are all wrapped up for now on Vigil's Keep. So we definitely got a few things for Nathaniel. We have Delilah Howe's letters.
Oh, I've always wanted one of these.
And we do have his ancestral bow. I'm sure he'll be very interested in this.
Is this what I think it is? It is. That's the Howe crest burned into the wood right there. This is my grandfather's bow. Or rather, my grandfather was the last to use it. It was originally made for an ancestor during the Exalted Marches.
Why wasn't it used afterwards?
Well, my father hid it away, I guess. I'm surprised he didn't simply have it destroyed. I remember finding it before Father sent me to the Free Marches. A shame for it to sit in storage. Thank you. It's good to have a part of my family's legacy again. Something to be proud of.
Of course. Legacy and heritage is important. And that goes back from before Howe, so... Alright, now, Anders, we gave you the cat. You seem like the kind of guy that would like a gold earring. I didn't notice one in your other ear earlier.
Ooh, for me?
Indeed, he did appreciate that. Now we have a medium gold bar, Andraste's Grace, some maps. We do obviously have the brandy for Ogren. So...
That looks fine indeed.
Enjoy your alcohol, friend.
It'll do, sure.
They actually did reset Ogren's approval in this expansion, which is very unfortunate. This item has a unique power. We can use this. Can you deploy the cat in combat? We'll definitely keep that in mind as we go forward.
It'll do.
We'll give you a flower, Ogren. I don't need it for anybody else here. You want some gemstones too?
Sure.
We'll keep the rest. You don't want to use some of the unique stuff here by accident. Okay, so we have minor willpower. Now I suppose it's as good a time as any to talk to some of our companions before we head out.
Need something pummeled? Just say the word.
I will definitely keep that in mind, Ogren. You are my favorite pummeler.
You know, I'm actually not the first Howe to be a Grey Warden.
Carrying on the family tradition, then.
Following in my grandfather's footsteps, more like. His name was Padric Howe. He joined the Order before it returned to Ferelden just after the war. Never contacted his family again. Just vanished. Now that I know about the joining, I think he died.
Many good men and women die in the joining.
I know that now. Father always said he was a horrible man for abandoning the family to join a pointless cause.
Of course he had
I
that
grew up
opinion.
ashamed of my grandfather. But now I see his bravery. That will take some getting used to.
Grandfather sounds like a great man. The only shame was your father's.
My father often forgot that nobility has another meaning. I told you that the bow you gave me was my grandfather's, didn't I? Thank you for that. At any rate, we should probably get back to it. There are Darkspawn to kill, I'll bet. Somewhere.
Nathaniel doesn't seem like too bad of a guy. Again, you see right there, he approved of us saying his father was shameful. He seems to be coming to grips with the fact that his father's not really worth much.
Don't worry, I'll keep my mouth firmly shut.
It's not
Why
necessary.
don't I just wait in the corner then?
I think me and you will get along just fine, actually.
So what would you do if you didn't have to be a Grey Warden?
Strange question to ask out of the blue.
Is it? You've never thought about it? Does nobody ever leave the Wardens?
Are you planning on leaving?
It's just a question. There are worse things to be, I guess. I've never liked the idea of being trapped somewhere, to be honest. It reminds me of the Circle. After my 7th escape attempt, you'd think they'd have given me credit for trying.
7 escape attempts.
I got really good at escaping the tower. Just never good at staying escaped. Until now, I suppose. The only thing I ever missed about the Circle was that cat, to be honest.
So now, if you want to, again, I suppose this is another good chance to talk about the Circle. He has escaped from the Circle 7 times, and he is still not tranquil. He has still not been executed. So, again, the Circle is very lenient. He has broken out and ran away 7 times, and all they do each time is they get him and they take him back. Those Templars he was with, they didn't execute him. They didn't take him somewhere for the Rite of Tranquility. They were just taking him back to the tower. It's not like you step out of line, you step on a Templar's toes by accident, and they cut your head off. It's not like that. And now you have a new one.
So I do. How are you doing in there, Sir Bouncer Lord? Ha! You'll be a fine mouser yet.
Can cats be Grey Wardens?
They can now.
Point the way, fearless leader.
Fair enough. Alright, and on that note, we are ready to go on and head out and experience what Amaranthine has to offer. So thanks for watching, everybody. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe, leave a like and a comment. If you want to support the cause and help improve the channel, there is a tip link in the description below. Otherwise, stay tuned and I'll see you soon with more Dragon Age Awakening. Take care, everybody. Have a good day.